Hello everybody, today I have a lot of good news for Ketron users. I have a lot of new information. Those information now you will be able to hear first time. You will not be able to find them on any other place, but now on my channel I will give you some new information. Okay, first, if you go to Ketron site, you will be able to see that new Ketron event is announced. And you can see there is some video, but not a lot of information. That's it about that instrument, nothing else. Now, if you go to Ketron Event Thomann, you will be able to see that it is going to be in stock, and there is price. And there are some informations here, basic information. But I'm going to give you more information now for first time that you will be able to hear some new information about this Ketron. First, in my last video, I told you it is going to be Ketron 61 keys, Ketron Event 61 keys. But now I have to tell you, for now, there is not going to be 61 keys event. For now, you can buy just Ketron. There is 76 keys. It looks like this. Ketron 76 keys. It is going to be flagship keyboard. Like SD9 is flagship keyboard or SD60 just with 61 keys. But this time is not going to be 61 keys event keyboard. It is going to be 61 keys, but under another name, and it is going to be not so many functions like we can find on this event. So imagine what is the difference between SD9 and SD7. So SD9, all functionality, SD7, less functions. It is going to be same story like between event and the new keyboard that is going to be 61 keys. It is not going to have all those options. But for people who likes to use modules, good information is there is going to be event sound module with all functions that you can find here. We have to wait for it for approximately a year, and then we will have sound module with everything that we can find on event, except because it is going to be smaller shape. Now, most of the functions will be on touch screen, and main functions with buttons and sliders, potentiometers, they are going to be directly on module, like now on SD90. Is not going to be identical like SD90 and SD9. SD90 is almost the same keyboard, just no keys. But here, in this case, is going to be same engine, same keyboard, but controls are going to be main controls on keyboard, and some of the controls that, for example, those sliders, number of the sliders, it is going to be controlled from touch screen. But you will be able to control from touch screen or from, for example, Novation. You will be able to control it from Novation. For example, drawbar organs from potentiometers from Novation, or any other controller that is able to control, that has 9 sliders. Now, let us go to talk about this instrument. Let me start from this picture. First, on this picture, first time you will see images that you were not able to see in high resolution. And here we have wheel, pitch, and modulation control, where we can control rotor for organ, drawbar organ, slow rotor, slow and fast. And we can control effects, effect 1 and effect 2. If you engage button, you can control effects. If you have 2 effects for solo section, for upper voices, 1, 2, 3, we can control effects. Or whatever is effect number 1 and number 2. Now we have a record button like on SD9. We have jukebox, and we have a lead, mute, lyric. All those buttons mostly we have there on SD9. But now in bass guitar section, we have additional root and bassist that we can control beside of manual and lowest that we can find on SD9. This controls root and basis. We can find if we go on SD9, if we go to view and if we go to base, or so we have to go actually to editing mode. But this time we don't need to go anywhere. We have control right away on panel of the keyboard. Pianist drum set split we have already on SD9. Now we have here player style drums, bass, chord, and now we have new stuff here. Lower 1, 2, 3. Presently on SD90 we have just one potentiometer for this lower 1 and 2 or wave. But now here we have separated lower 1 and 3. And now beside of that we have possibility to click drawbar view and control drawbars for organ, something that we have in Genus or Korg PA5 or Korg PA4 with 9 sliders to control drawbar organ. Cool stuff, excellent. We have intro 1, 2, 3 like on SD9, but we have re-intro that we can engage directly from by pressing button. We have still opportunity to do that on touch screen, like we can do that on SD9, but button is much more convenient to do that. And to end, now when we press to end is actually re-intro. This is then ending. If so is intro function, to end it is ending function. And now we have variations here that we can use, variations, fill, drawbar, U, drum mixer. Whoa, there is something new. For example, we play in live and snare is too loud. Press drum mixer and put volume of the snare down. If you want to do that on SD90, you have to press view, drum mixer, and you will get to that drum mixer. But you have to do some moves. You are busy in performing. You don't have time to go to touch screen and do something. This time, just press. You are right away in drum mixer. Cool stuff. Extremely good. Now, let me go to the next picture. In next picture, a little bit bigger. What we have here, if we want to control our voice microphone that is connected to Ketron, now we have possibility to control separately here with potentiometers, reverb and delay. For example, for delay, feedback, amount of delay, so different a ratio between delay and dry sound, and delay, we can tap delay, speed of the delay. Now we have same things, amount of reverb, type of reverb. So that is very handy to use if we are singing through microphone, through voice drone. Now, on this panel here, we can see that we have something that we can find in Korg. So we have piano section, string section, organ. If we want to use those controls from SD90, we have to go to screen. We have to be in proper screen where we can see those group of styles, ballad, dance, rock, swing, unplugged folk. But here we have direct access from panel. Or if we go to sounds, we can see sounds, piano, accordion, strings. But here we have direct access from panel. Ethnic, everything. Like Korg, it is really handy when we press just brass, then right away we are in brass section on screen and we can go to choose whatever brass we want to choose. So that is really, really good stuff. It will help us in fast access to everything that we need right away. Now let me go to this screen and let me go make it bigger. Now, resync, if we are out of sync with something, we can use resync function or restart function. If we have singer who is out of measure, then we can put back first part of the measure. So we have that function already on. It is called restyle. So it is restart, reset, start. So something is like, restart. We have that function on SD90, something similar to that. Count in, we have already on SD90. Stop, hold, tempo, we have everything. This section is here, same like on SD90. Exit, save, media, menu, enter. Let us go back. Back side of this keyboard. How it looks. Sustain, volume, full switch, and same MIDI section that we can find on SD9, SD90. But what we have here, we have now 6 outputs. So we can separate instruments. Main output and plus 2 aux stereo outputs. 6 outputs. 2 input for microphone. Input and output. Gain. And we have for instrument gain and instrument input. So that is cool stuff here going on backside of Ketron Event. Now let us go to right side of the keyboard. SD card, HDMI connector for external screen, USB connection, and those 2 USB connections are for if you want to control external controller, iPad, or if you want to connect a USB stick for updates. So that is here. Now let us go to see something for first time that you were not able to see anywhere. Now I'm opening Ketron specifications. Now I will tell you some information. I am not going to go through everything now. I don't want to this video to be so long. Maybe you will have all very soon accessible all those information, so you'll be able to see them on Ketron side. But now for first time you are able to hear from me some more information about Ketron. 260 note polyphone, 76 half weight keys, 4 dynamic curves, pitch modulation wheels, aftertouch, portamento, legato monopoly, transpose plus minus 24, octave plus minus 2, expression pedal with 6 curves. We have 15 sliders with RGB LED indicator, brightness and color control, 8 potentiometers for external FX control, 8 potentiometers for external FX control. Display, 7 touch display, brightness control, and 5 different skin colors. Factory sounds, I told you, there is 10 groups of factory sounds, but I will skip all those information and goes to factory override and restore. It's interesting what we have new here, high quality multi-layer sounds with a vast of selection of real solos. New stuff here. Now, and we have up to 1280 sounds, user voices available. And what is very important here in this section, that is something that I was contacting Ketron and asking them to put in this new instrument. Arabic scale and key shift programmable per voice. We have that in SD90, but it is not programmable per voice. Now, I asked them specially to have this possibility. Now, there is question, key shift programmable. Now, is that for each key in scale, or is this for whole scale? If it's for each key in scale, I have to clear this up. I have to call them and talk to them about that. If it's that for each semitone that is part of the scale, key shift programmable per voice, then we can have something that never had any arranger keyboard in history of arranger keyboards, and presently even Korg PA5 doesn't have it. So that is something that I told Korg as well to do, and maybe they will do that in new operating system, maybe, but I told them several times they never did it. Now, if Ketron has that, we'll be able to have perfect lower intervals with -3rd and -4th on first key of scale and -5th on second key. That is something that is highly, highly recommended for all users who are playing keyboards from Europe. European background, they live in USA, they live in Canada. Those people, I am one of them. And they are buying those keyboards, and 90% all arrangers, customers here are actually those people from Middle East, from Europe. So we are buying those keyboards. If we have that option and we are using intervals. It is something that we must have. That's why people are using Korg for this. But we have already possibility to use it per voice, program it per voice, even if it's that like full scale. Then we can use same trick to make those intervals like presently you can find it on Korg PA4. On Korg PA4 is actually that function that we are using, scale, user scale, and key shift for one specific voice. Only we are doing that when we are making ensemble thirds in Korg. But only problem with Korg, then pitch shift doesn't work. Pitch shift doesn't work properly for one tone that is locked. Now, we want to see how this works. We want to see that in reality on the keyboard. And when I get keyboard, I will inform you about this, and I will push Ketron to make what we need. And I think they are watching my videos. I have good contact with them, and they know what I'm talking about, and they are going to do something that is very important, that will make keyboard more profitable and usable for us. Now, user sounds, 2.5 gigabyte free storage. So in flash memory, 1.5 gigabyte for additional factory sound banks, and 1 gigabyte for user samples. Sample editor up to 8,192 samples with maximum 6 seconds per sample, up to 4 layers stereo. So for instruments and drum sets, advanced editor with split octave level range, tune, cutoff, velocity, and so and so. Loop utilities, those things down that I already read, we have in Ketron SD90. Just Ketron SD90 is limited to 30 multi-samples and SD9. Now, there is nothing about a limitation in multi-samples. So hopefully it is not going to be any limitation in number of multi-samples. But what is good here? Up to 4 layered stereo multi-samples. To make it clear, Korg PA4 has just 1 layer mono samples. Genos has more layers possibility, but this one has up to 4 layer stereo samples, more powerful than Korg PA4. Now, 6 second maximum per sample, it means if you have this number, but if you have samples longer, this number is going to be a little bit lower. But if you need to sample piano, for example, with 12 seconds in 4 layers, you will be able to do that. But you can have even piano inside of your keyboard with 12 layers. How? Same story like Korg. Korg has 1 layer, Korg PA4. But you can use oscillators, and oscillators you can put those multi-layers of the samples, and you can simulate more layers. Now, with this guy here, we have voice 1, 2, 3. If we put 3 times 4 layered samples, we can have 12 layers for piano. We can have actually sampled multi-layers, 12 layers of piano. So I will talk about that, and in my video when I get keyboards, I am going to give you information how to do that, how to work, and we will go deeply into organization, editing modes, and everything. We can explore maximum of the keyboards, and you can get all those information on my YouTube channel. So you don't need to waste any time and to think about what I have to do, how I can do, if you just follow my channel. And if I get keyboard from Ketron, if they have interest to give me that keyboard just to help you and to help them, because I don't need keyboard, I can use it for some time to help you and help them to sell that keyboard and explain you, because it will save their time to use all your calls about the keyboard and possibility of what to do, and it will save your time to exploring how to do something. So, but what I'm going to buy module. I'm waiting for module. I don't need keyboard. I will try to get keyboard. I don't need keyboard, but I need module. Module is something that I want to have. I have to wait for it a little bit more. Now let us talk about 62 stereo drum kits, 32 user drum kits. Mostly of the information that I can find here, we can find already in SD9. Arranger over 400 styles, future on mixing, audio parts, and MIDI styles. Good. Live styles and MIDI styles are in 10 groups. We already talked about that. We already talked about variations, about all those functions. MIDI chord, bass, okay, all those information that I'm reading now here, we can find in SD90, so I am not going to read it because we can find live drums, 580 live drums with complete arranger structure, 3 intros, 3 ending, ABCD, 4 fills, 4 breaks, reverb, and 3 band parametric equalizer with 10 presets. So programmable on each style, amazing. Live drums for each style, you can program them. Drum boost, possibility to load external user live drums. Most of those functions we have in SD9 or SD90, we can load user drums. We have all those parts of the user drums, but now 3 band parametric equalizer with 10 presets, programmable with each style. That is excellent information. Grooves. We will have 3 times independent groove sections. Huge library with 780 Latin percussion, electro-acoustic drums, loops, single percussion hits, groove to variation, separate volume, and effects for control. We don't have anything about user grooves, about user loops. So for now, they don't say it is going to be possible. Live guitars. 216 slice guitars pattern including long chords, separate volume, and effect control. We have that in SD90. But new stuff, real chord that we don't have in SD90 and SD9. More than 300 real audio accompaniments covering a full chord range up to 13 different chords. A wide variety of electric, acoustic, and jazz guitars patterns and other orchestral sequences perfectly synchronized to MIDI. That is something really good, really new, and really exciting. And what is the, it says dedicated insert effects with full editor, programmable for each style. And this, look at this, possibility to load external user real chords. On another language, we call that user live guitars. Excellent thing. Finally, they mentioned that hopefully that will work. They put it there, it should work. Real bass, 256 real audio basses synchronized to MIDI. Twin bass, possibility to switch MIDI or audio on the same style. Support to internal user audio basses. 3-band parametric equalizer with 10 preset, same almost like another like live guitars, actually same, programmable on each style, and possibility to load external user basses. Excellent. Thanks. Style modeling. We have those informations. Let me skip everything here and go to something that I like to give you more information about. Okay, Bluetooth, streaming audio input, and Wi-Fi, network remote control via Ketron application. So we'll be able remotely control from iPad with a Ketron application. We'll be able to control, do some controls with on Ketron. Good information. So that is for now. I'm going to stop here. There is more information, but let us leave something for next video. So there's a new some new information about Ketron. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, especially people who like Ketron. So see you in my next video. Stay tuned, and I'm going to inform you always, and I will give you new information about Ketron, and we will work on this new keyboard and see a lot of good things about how to use this keyboard and extra information related to this keyboard. Have a nice day. See you in my next video.